This is the controller board. It's basically a joystick. It's an input, a USB input, and you can solder two connections, one ground and then the other closes it, and when that makes the connection, that sends a signal to the computer. It's actually considered a joystick, and so you can actually get software that will take that joystick command and convert that into a keystroke on the keyboard, which will allow you to control flippers and different the power button and the volume up and down. And yeah, this was about 30 bucks. It's completely worth it though. I wired them to RCAs so that I can actually just have quick disconnect for maintenance or whatever. It was easy enough. This looks kind of ugly, but this is my main ground. It's basically just one piece of wire that I tinned and then soldered the rest of the grounds to them, and then that grounds out here. I wanted to show you my latest obsession, and I mean that quite literally. Anyone that knows me knows that I haven't shut up about this for about 2-3 months now. I'm basically making a digital pinball machine, and it's easily and by far the hardest part of this has been the construction of this cabinet, because as I found out, I am not a woodworker. I am not a carpenter at all. So it took me 3 tries actually. So I'm glad I actually made it out of pine. Later on, I might make another one out of a better wood now that I know how to make it. But I mean, honestly, this looks good enough for me. So I'm just gonna continue with the build. This is the screen I'm using. I took it out of a 32-inch TV, stripped away all the brackets and everything that held it in and took the bezel off. And that's what it looks like on the front. I really don't care much for the metal around the edge here, so I want to hide that. So I did that with a piece of glass. And it's kind of difficult to see, but this is my glass panel. This is going to be on the very top of the pinball machine. You can't really tell how it's working yet because there's still contact paper on it. I put contact paper over the entire thing, and then I measured in 1.25 inches and sliced that off all the way around. And then I spray painted that black. So if you look at the top side, that's what it'll look like with the screen being here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the contact paper, and you'll see what it's going to look like. Did not want to touch the glass. That's why I'm wearing the glove. There. Now, as you can see, on the other side, looks like that. All right, I am installing the glass, paint side up into the data that I put in the cabinet. Slide it in carefully. I intentionally left this side. I didn't glue it because if something happens and the glass gets broken, I wouldn't be able to get it out. So I basically left that to some L brackets, and it doesn't look very good as far as the miter goes, but it's the back of the cabinet, and it's the easiest way that I can think of to make it to where I can still replace the glass if I need to. I'm taking extra care to make sure that the glass is really, really clean before I go to the next step, which is installing the screen. And that's mostly on the inside. So I clean the outside really, really well, turn it on its side so I can see the light through it to look for any spots, and then make sure that it's really, really clean on the inside. It's more critical, obviously. All right, and then I'm just going to put the back piece on and then screw it on so that I can slip the screen into it. I made sure to clean the front of the screen, of the TV screen, really, really well as well, because I don't want any smudges or dirt or dust or anything sandwiched in between the glass and the screen. So last time I did this, I actually was at this point and I had the brackets too high, or too low, excuse me, well, too high because it's upside down. And when I tried to slip the screen in, it wouldn't go past the brackets. So I ended up trying to do this, and I ended up scraping the paint on the glass, and I had to completely scrape all the black off and re-clean the glass and put new contact paper on it and, you know, repaint it again and make it look right. So I'm going to be extra careful this time. Hopefully that didn't just scratch the paint. It looks sharp. I didn't scratch the paint. There is a tiny little bit of dust inside, but it's okay. You won't see it once the game is actually playing. Okay, here it is with the buttons installed. I thought I would go ahead and install them while I was waiting on the battery for my drill to recharge. I haven't actually put the switches on those. Those do. Those have them. So they're ready to be wired to the input controller. Now I'm going to secure the screen to the cabinet. It's not perfect, but it will hold the screen in place. The other side over here doesn't really have any type of holes or anything in it, so it's a lot harder to secure it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some L brackets. And that'll hold it in nicely. Not going anywhere. So this is basically what it's going to look like. This is what I'm using to power it. It's an old laptop that had a broken screen, so I just took everything off, took off the screen, took off the keyboard, took off the top plate, and basically the CD-ROM, anything else that would weigh it down and make it heavier, I took it away because we didn't need it. Anything I need to access this with, I can do externally through USB. One part of this build was kind of tricky because it's really delicate and you can't really see it very well, but this is where the power button plugs in on the bezel, and you push the power button and that sends a signal to this, which tells the computer to turn on. I actually soldered that little wire right there to it and then grounded it out here, and that allowed me to put a switch on that. And that actually does a couple of nice things. It makes it to where I don't actually need to touch the power switch to turn it on. I can make it an external button. And it also means that during the game, when I don't want it to be on, I can push that button and the computer will go to sleep. I can push it again and it'll wake back up. So it's really nice, actually. And here's the test. Everything seems to be working, but see for yourself.
Joe, that was so close! Wow. Giggity. Star Wars Pinball, the First Order.
Suppress the flame with a single shot, or hit the tractor beam.
Oop.
Prepare for docking ship. Lock
A basic
is ready.
maneuver. Collect that extra ball. Right blast door closed.
Go to Jakku. Seek and capture resistance members.
Understood.
Extra ball. Not bad.
Darth Vader. You found something.
We have a new enemy. Luke Skywalker. You have done well, Lord Vader.
We're caught in a tractor beam. It's pulling us in.
Prepare.
The Avengers.
After playing for a minute, it's just like playing on a real machine.
There was an idea to bring together a group of
Choose your
remarkable
Avenger.
people. So when we
Here with a
leave,
mission, sir?
they could fight the battles that we never could.
Great job, Avengers. Let's get back into battle, Avengers.
It's also got left and right tilt.
Didn't turn out so well.
Choose your Avenger.
Here with a mission, sir? We're not quitting that easily.
Their metal. I can feel your hatred, Bruce.
See those flashing holes? Hit them now!
What have I to fear?
Choose your Avenger.
Hulk is the strongest one there is!
You don't belong to them, Hulk.
Yep. Come
Get
on.
back into battle, Avengers! Ball save is activated.
Do not test my resolve.
Jackpot increased.
Spider-Man. Saved by my trusty webs. Spider sense tingling. Next time I'll just ride the bus.